warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Islawani Muhammad, the inventor of the implementation of carbon tax framework in Malaysia. The increasing levels of carbon dioxide contributes to greenhouse emissions, global warming and climate change issues. These issues have led to pollution, depletion of resources and destruction of ecosystems. These are harmful for human health, industrialization and development, which are key drivers of economic growth.
Among the various approaches to environmental policy, carbon tax is receiving more serious attention from policymakers. Other than reducing carbon emissions, carbon tax has more advantages in achieving economic stability and development in the country compared to other environmental policy instruments. The Malaysian Prime Minister has assertively announced a carbon tax in the 12th Malaysian Plan 2021-2025. A fixed fee on the carbon content of fossil fuels will be imposed, forcing energy and fuel providers to raise costs. However, the government has yet to announce the framework for a carbon price. The new tax policy also poses the question of how to impose a carbon tax in the midst of the COVID-19 economic crisis. Based on the experience of countries with carbon taxes and recommendations from the experts, a proposed carbon tax implementation framework for Malaysia is constructed. The framework consists of 10 dimensions: objective, subsidy reform, administration, tax base, tax rate, use of revenue, coordination with other tax environmental policies, preservation of company competitiveness, evaluation, review and adjustment, and information dissemination. The tables show details of each dimension. I will highlight some of the critical dimensions. In terms of objective, the initial goal of Malaysia's carbon tax implementation should be allocated to domestic revenue after significant spending on public healthcare, national defence and COVID-19 stimulus packages. The government must reform Malaysia's fuel subsidy program, which has been in place since 1983. Lowering or eliminating the subsidy would increase the government's revenue while significantly impacting consumers' fuel and energy consumption habits. The revenue collected from the carbon tax would be directly allocated to the general budget following the policy objective. The government could use the money to pay off debts or spend in various sectors. A revenue-neutral approach can be adopted to gain public acceptance by refunding low-income households using the existing cash refund systems such as Bantuan Sari Hidup and Bantuan Prihatin Rakyat. This approach, however, should be carefully considered to avoid spending more than the actual income received and potentially limiting public awareness. The final criteria in the framework is information dissemination, which is vital to raise awareness, improve the feasibility, and increase public support. This can be accomplished by providing basic educational materials, informational campaigns on social media, developing detailed guidelines, and supporting research. The government must also be transparent in communicating all aspects of the plan, including revenue allocation, distributional implications, and how it intends to address them. Obtaining political support is critical for a successful and long-term carbon pricing program. Carbon taxes will face significant challenges if businesses and individuals do not embrace them. This research was funded by the Ministry of Higher Education and Institute Masa Depan Malaysia (MASA). I presented the framework to the Ministry of Finance and at local and international conferences. Recently, it was presented at the Seminar Kebangsaan Pemulihan Negara dan Keterangkuman Sosial in Putrajaya. The seminar gathered Malaysian research experts to provide policies for the Malaysian Economic Recovery Plan. The research has successfully published 7 articles in Scopus and Era Index journals, newspaper, universities blog and magazine. The framework also has been copyrighted recently. With the achievements, I hope that the framework will soon be adopted as a policy in Malaysia. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you.